This is a blessed video of Ronnie2K getting curved. Like the video within 5 seconds for good luck. I would not risk it. Go to jerseygods.com to get NBA jerseys for a fraction of the price, and they're the exact same quality. The link is in the description. I've already got 2 jerseys and 4 pairs of shorts on the way, and you guys will love them too. Make sure to use my code PLUG at checkout. What is up, guys? It's your boy Badge Plug, and today I'm going to be doing an in-depth badge tutorial for every single build in this game. Now, I've made a few videos on some badges so far, but I've never went into deep detail with you guys about what are like my favorite badges in the game, what badges you should use if you only have this many badges, and etc. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what I'm talking about. This is going to be a very long video, so make sure to drop a like, strap in, and let's get into it. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of different examples for you guys today, but I'm always going to start off with what badges I think you 100% need. Okay, so if you only have this certain amount of badges, these are the ones I would use. So in my opinion, I believe that you only need, if you can get to gold badges, 12 upgrades for the finishing. You only actually need 12 upgrades, because I would go with Contact Finisher, Giant Slayer, Fancy Footwork, and Slithery Finisher. Now, there is one thing that you could change. I would maybe go down on Fancy Footwork and put on Acrobat, maybe put Acrobat on bronze and put Fancy on gold, or the other way around, whatever you want to do. But I do recommend that you use those 4 badges. And if you want to take down Fancy Footwork to use Acrobat, you can do that also. But those are my 4 essential badges for this list. Now, like I said, Acrobat is a very good badge. Back Down Punisher, this is one of the best badges in the game for post scores. If you guys haven't seen Joe Knows use it, it is extremely overpowered. So make sure you guys use that if you're a post scorer. But if not, you will not need this build. Consistent Finisher is a good badge if you have more than 12 upgrades. I highly recommend it. Contact Finisher, I already said we need this badge, but it is one of the best badges in the game. It helps you get more dunks, it helps you get more layups, all that type of stuff. As soon as you get touched, this badge uses it right away. Now, Cross Key Scorer, this is one of the only badges I actually don't know about. I really don't know how much this badge helps at all, but I've never seen anyone this year, not a single person, use this badge, so I would not use it. Now, Deep Hooks, this is a very good badge once again if you're a post scorer. Back Down Punisher and Deep Hooks is just absolutely broken. It's a very good combination, as well as Drop Stepper, but if you guys are not post scorers or anything, don't use it. Now, Fancy Footwork, like I said, it's in my must needed badges if you have the upgrades for it. So definitely use this badge, because hops in this game are super overpowered. You're definitely going to want Fancy Footwork. Now, Fast Break Finisher, it's okay. It doesn't really do a lot. It does boost your takeover, but it's a badge that you're not going to need unless you have like 30 something upgrades. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't work for alley-oops, and that's usually how you finish a fast break if you have enough upgrades to use this. Giant Slayer, an amazing badge. Its best potential works when you're within 6 inches of the defender. This badge still works and is very efficient even if you're over the 6-inch limit. I do highly recommend that badge. Now, Lob City Finisher, don't recommend the badge at all. It doesn't really do anything. Neither does Lob City Passer, but we'll talk about that later. Pick and Roller is an okay badge, but there's not many people this year that are pick and roll type of centers. There's usually a pick and pop type of center, but if you are a pick and roller type of center, then I would recommend you put on this badge. Pro Touch is okay. This is really only for if you're really deep in that paint, guys. If you're really deep in that paint and you're a center or something, then you might want to have this on bronze or silver. But besides that, I really would not recommend it. Now, Putback Boss, this is a center type of build. You will never want this on a guard, and it's okay. It's not that bad, but I would not recommend it over the other badges we've already talked about. Relentless Finisher is one of my favorite badges in this game, because you get to save stamina, and it does help out a lot with, you know, increasing the percentage of driving in this game, because, you know, you drive a lot in this game, so you're gonna need that badge if you have more than 12 available upgrades. Showtime, I've had one of my teammates have this on Hall of Fame before. It is absolutely worthless. You do not want this badge at all. I mean, unless you're dunking every single time and you're just trying to get your takeover a little bit faster, then maybe, but just don't put it on unless you have like 30 upgrades and you're just wanting to throw something else on. Slithery Finisher is literally one of, if not the best finishing badge in NBA 2K20 because it makes it just like NBA 2K18. If you guys remember, it gives you a higher percentage to literally slithery through your opponent. You get to slide through. It's just like 2K18. It gives you much more blow-bys and stuff. So this badge is amazing. Teardropper, I don't know if you do teardroppers or not, but I haven't seen anyone do that this year. So do not put on teardropper unless for some reason you do those, but I haven't seen anyone do them this year, so I would not recommend it. Now let's go to another example. Let's say you only have 6 available upgrades in this category. Then I would go with Giant Slayer, Contact, Fancy, and Slithery, and then you can put up each one that you want, but I would most likely go with Contact Finisher Silver and Giant Slayer Silver. But let's say you only have 1 finishing badge, then I would probably put on Fancy Footwork because the hop steps in this game are super overpowered, and on any build it can really help you score in the paint. Now onto the shooting badges, and before we get into this, I want to let you guys know that these badges you're seeing are not really my actual badge setup. They're pretty close to what I'm using right now as a legend, but it is not the same exact badges that I'm using because I was just trying to make some videos and some content out of these. So my playstyle was a little bit different, but Catch and Shoot is a very good badge, y'all. If you're any type of player who is catching the ball and shooting, if you sit corner, if you sit hash, if you're any type of player who's going to catch the ball from your point guard or something, I highly recommend using this badge. Now you see I have it on bronze because there's a lot of instances where you catch the ball even as a guard off inbounds passes and stuff where you would want to have Catch and Shoot on and get that little bit of boost that it can help you with. On to Clutch Shooter. This is another badge that I don't 100% have information on. Like I told you guys, there's not a lot of badges that I don't really 100% know about, but this one I'm not sure if it works in the park, but at the same time I haven't seen anyone use it, not even people that have 30, 35 upgrades. No one uses this badge, so let me know in the comment section down below if any of you guys use this. But Corner Specialist, this badge is very good, not just for people that sit in the corner, but for people that fade away. If you fade away at all and you're running to the sides, you don't have to be in the corner, you don't have to be on the 3-point line. As long as you're near that corner, it will give you a boost to those fadeaway shots and stuff, and even those catch and shoot shots also. So I highly recommend Corner Specialist if you're obviously someone who sits in the corner, or if you're someone who fades away or shoots a lot from those corners. And also 2K Labs came out with the test for Corner Specialist, and it's actually better on silver than it is on Hall of Fame. So make sure that you're not wasting your upgrades on Corner Specialist, Gold, or Hall of Fame, because you actually have a better percentage of making shots in the corner with it on silver. Now Deadeye, this is one of my favorite shooting badges in the game. You guys know that in every 2K the shot contest system is different. This year for the most part, unless you're really on someone, they can shoot the ball. So I love Deadeye because this helps the impact of a defender who is closing out, and it helps on every single shot under 40% contested is what I've heard from 2K Labs. So this badge right here, 100% recommend that you use it even on bronze if you don't have enough upgrades. Now deep fades, you're going to want to use this badge if you're a post scorer. If you're not going to want to use this badge. Difficult shots, you see that I have it on bronze, but you can green fadeaways just fine this year without difficult shots. The only reason I have it on bronze is to try and get a little bit of a boost for when I do fade away, because Shot Creator is my takeover. Flexible Release, you should only use this badge if you're not greening enough shots in the park. The only reason I have it on is because I'm trying to make a video, which you guys will see in a few days, about this badge. So if you're someone who is not greening consistently, I highly recommend that you use Flexible Release, because for some reason 2K wanted to put a badge in the game that helps you make whites. So if you're not timing your shot correctly, then definitely put this badge on. Now Green Machine, you guys know, best shooting badge in the game. Every time you green, it makes your green window higher. So technically you don't even have to time your shot correctly after a few greens, because the green window is so much bigger that you will still be greening shots even if you're not greening it at the exact window where you should before Green Machine. Now on to Hot Start. This is a badge that not a lot of people use, and I, for one, you guys know if you're loyal to the channel, I 100% love this badge. Now like I said, if you're not making shots like Flexible Release, you should not be using Hot Start, because this badge goes away as soon as you miss your first shot. Now, not a layup, not a dunk that gets blocked, anything like that, but a jump shot. After you miss your first jump shot, this badge will go away. But if you do happen to make your first shot, your attributes go up a lot with this badge. So I love Hot Start, but that's up to you guys to use if you're making enough shots. Now, Hot Zone Hunter. This is another badge where if you're not making enough shots, don't use it, because Hot Zone Hunter boosts your attributes in every single spot that you have a hot spot. Now, you guys know after the update, I think it was patch 6, it's much harder to get hot spots in the park. So if you're not making your shots, if you only have 1 or 2 hot spots in the park, don't use this badge. Do not use this badge. Don't waste upgrades on it because it's basically useless. But if you guys are, you have 3 or 4 hotspots, I highly recommend using Hot Zone Hunter. Ice and Veins, this is a rec, pro-am, or my career type of badge. I 100% recommend not using it. If you play pro-am seriously or something like that, you might want to use Ice in the Veins, but other than that, no. Pick and Popper, this is a badge that is okay only if you're a center, because you're obviously not going to be setting many screens with a guard. But if you are pick and popping a lot on the 3s court or the 2s court, you should put on this badge. Pump Fake Maestro, this badge does absolutely nothing, because if you pump fake and then shoot, your defender is going to be right there anyway if they jump. So do not use Pump Fake Maestro. Quick Draw, obviously, if you're any type of build that shoots at all, you're gonna want Quick Draw. Now, Range Extender, you're gonna want 100% if you're any type of shooter in this game, especially if you're a guard who really needs that range, because that range extends your game so much. Just like Steph Curry in real life, man, it absolutely changes the offense and gives you so much more space, and it makes the defense have to guard you from much higher up. Slippery Off Ball, I would only recommend this for like sharpshooting type of builds, because there's other upgrades that you should put on first before you use this one, which we'll be talking about in a minute. But I really don't recommend using this badge unless you're like a 3s court or a pro-am type of player. But at the same time, unless you're like a pure sharpshooter or something, I wouldn't use it anyway. Steady Shooter, I don't really know anyone that uses this badge, because when you're actually open, it decreases your percent of making the shot. So when you're open, you can time the shot correctly, and it's going to lower your percentage, and sometimes you'll miss shots that you shouldn't have missed at all, but you're going to miss those shots because you have on this badge. Now, if you're someone that can't get space, Steady Shooter and Deadeye combined can be very deadly, but unless you're not getting a lot of space at all, I don't recommend using this badge. Tireless Shooter, no one uses this badge. I don't know anyone that uses it. I'm not even sure if it works, because this year you can have no stamina and fade away in green shots just fine. So I would not recommend using this badge. If you do always have no stamina when you shoot, maybe throw it on bronze. Other than that, I would not use it. Volume Shooter is one of the badges that I've made a video on. I highly recommend using this badge, because no matter what, even if you miss 10 shots in a row, it still boosts your percentages throughout the game, no matter if you miss or make the shot. So if you're someone who's taking quite a bit of shots, you're taking the most shots on your team, I 100% recommend using Volume Shooter. It is definitely one of the best shooting badges. Now, onto the badges that are an absolute necessity. I believe you only need 9 to 12 available upgrades to have as many shooting badges as you actually really need. The other ones are just going to help you out. You would use those on Green Machine, Quick Draw, and Range Extender if you're a guard. Now, if you're someone who sits in the corner or something, then it would be Deadeye. If you were to have 12 available upgrades, the other one would be Deadeye also. Now, let's say you're someone that only has like 4 shooting badges. I would put on Bronze or Silver Quick Draw, and then the other ones on Green Machine. Even with no Quick Draw or Bronze Quick Draw, you can still use Jump Shot 38 and it will still be slightly fast. So that will help you out a lot. Not having to waste those badges on Quick Draw if you only have a very small amount of upgrades. But Green Machine is 100% the one you would want to use, because it always helps you out. As soon as you green a shot, it boosts your windows so much, and that will make you make more shots than any other badge on here. Now, for the shooting badges, it's very easy to tell you guys, if you only had one badge, which one you should use, and that one is Quick Draw. To have Quick Draw on Bronze helps out a lot, but if you guys know how to use Jump Shot 38 without Quick Draw, then I would put on Green Machine for your Bronze badge. Now, on to the playmaking badges, and these ones are very important. Ankle Breaker barely even works this year. I would not use this badge unless you have a lot of upgrades. Bailout is an amazing badge, y'all. It's 100% goated, and I would only use it on Bronze or Silver because I heard it works just the same as it does on Hall of Fame. But I would not use this badge until you have Dimer, Floor General, Quick First Step, Handles for Days, and at least tight handles. You don't have to use stop and go, but at least tight handles. If you can get all of those, then that is when I would throw on bailout. Break starter, this badge I would not recommend at all. Even if you're a center, you can basically throw full court passes this year with ease. Now, if you only have one playmaking badge and you're a center, then maybe throw on bronze break starter, and that will help you almost never throw a turnover. But when I was in the rec and the 3v3 pro-am, people were throwing full court passes without break starter, so I would not recommend it. Dimer, you guys already know, is one of the best badges in the game. If you don't have that on, I don't know what you're doing. Downhill, this badge is okay for like threes and pro-am and rec and stuff, but if you don't have the other badges that I recommended first, don't use it. The downhill badge is okay, but unless you have like 30 upgrades and you're just trying to throw something extra on, I would not use it. Dream Shake is for post scorers. Unless you're a post scorer, I would not use it. Flashy Passer is a very good badge. I've made a video on it before. If you have it on Hall of Fame, you can get your teammates takeover in 2 buckets, so I would highly recommend that badge if you're a playmaker that has a lot of upgrades. Floor General is another must-have badge. It boosts every single one of your teammates on the court's attributes +1 for each one that you have. So Hall of Fame gives you +4 to your teammates in every single attribute. It's a very good badge, very underrated. Handles for days, you're gonna want this badge if you're any type of playmaking dribbler. It helps you conserve stamina. I 100% recommend that you use this badge. Lob City Passer, this badge does absolutely nothing. I've had it on Hall of Fame and it does the same exact efficiency for alley-oops as if I didn't have it on at all. Needle Threader, I've heard, works on bronze just like it does on Hall of Fame. The only reason I have it on gold is because I just have extra upgrades to use, but I would only use this badge if you're throwing passes in tight windows like a pick and roll situation and you're in a lot of those situations. Otherwise, don't use Needle Threader. Pass Fake Maestro, this is just like Pump Fake Maestro. You don't want this badge. This is an absolute waste of an upgrade. You should never use it. Post Spin Technician is obviously one of the best badges in the game if you're a post scorer. Other than that, don't use the badge. Quick First Step, this is the best playmaking badge for speed. If you're a playmaker at all, you should definitely have on Quick First Step. Space Creator, this is one of my favorite badges, but I would not use it unless you have the other badges that I talked about first. Dimer, Floor General, Handles for Days, Quick First Step, Tight Handles, those badges like that. If you have other upgrades, I would use Space Creator because you can break ankles a lot, but other than that, I would not use this badge. Stop and Go, I've heard that this badge doesn't work in a lot of situations that you would normally need, so I would put this on after you have on Dimer, Floor General, Handles for Days, and Tight Handles. Then maybe you will want to have Stop and Go, but Tight Handles is the best badge in this game for breaking ankles. You guys know the most common move in the game is the explosive behind the back, and this badge will help you out a lot because every time you do that explosive behind the back or doing moves like that, it can freeze your opponent and give you an easy bucket, or draw the defender and you can pass it to your teammate. Unpluckable, this badge is terrible. It doesn't really work, but I've heard that it works the same on bronze that it does on Hall of Fame, so that's why I use it on bronze. I would definitely recommend having it on bronze though. Now, if you're any type of dribbler, the necessity badges is 12 to 15 upgrades in my opinion, and those 12 to 15 upgrades will be Dimer, Floor General, Handles for Days, Quick First Step, and then the other one will be Tight Handles. Now, I would put on these 4 badges before you put on Tight Handles, but Tight Handles if you have the extra space. Now, let's say that you only have 3 badges. I would use Dimer, Quick First Step, and Handles for Days. On to the defensive badges, and like I said, guys, this badge setup is not really the badges that I'm using, but it's pretty close. So you guys see what I'm rocking right now as a legend. Box, this badge is very, very good if you're a center. If you're not a center, do not use this badge. Brick Wall, you guys know, is super overpowered. I would definitely recommend you use Brick Wall if you're a center. Chase Down Artist is not bad. I learned that it actually does work on the 2s court, so this badge is actually pretty good, but I wouldn't put it on before a few other badges, which we'll talk about in a minute. Clamps, this is, if not the best badge in the defensive category. It is very close because the Clamps badge is the kryptonite to the slithery finisher. This badge helps you stay in front of your opponent and it helps them not blow by you as much. It's a very good badge, and it also makes people pick up the ball and stuff too. So I highly recommend that if you have a low amount of badges, this is one of the first badges that you use. Heart Crusher, I would only put on this badge if you have like 30 potential upgrades. Other than that, I would not use it. Interceptor, this is one of my favorite badges in the game. It helps you get steals so much more. I highly recommend it. Intimidator, this badge is, if not the best defensive badge, very close. Just like Clamps, these are my 2 favorite badges in the game. Intimidator can make people miss shots and you're not even there. People can miss shots and you're not even near them. I know you guys have seen layups where people are not even guarded at all and they miss, and that's usually because of Intimidator. So I highly recommend that you use this badge. Lightning Reflexes is a very good badge. If you ever have those instances where people like throw the ball over you and your guy doesn't reach and stuff, that's because of Lightning Reflexes. So if you have enough upgrades, I highly recommend putting this badge on. But the first 3 badges that I would use is Intimidator, Pick Dodger, and Clamps if you guys don't have enough upgrades. Moving Truck, this is only for centers, but if you're a center, this is a must-have badge. Off-Ball Pest, I really don't like this badge at all. I've used it before, and I highly recommend Lightning Reflexes and an Interceptor as the combo other than, you know, Interceptor or Off-Ball Pest. On to Pick Dodger. The community has their own opinion on this badge. Everyone has a different opinion. Some people say it doesn't work, but I use it on gold just in case. Pickpocket, obviously, this is one of the best defensive badges in the game. It can turn any build into almost a lockdown build and give you a lot of steals. I highly recommend putting on Pickpocket if you have enough upgrades. Pogo Stick, this badge is absolutely broken. I wouldn't use this badge unless you're a lockdown or a center, but this badge is super overpowered. You can literally just spam jump over and over and still get contest on shots in the paint. It's very overpowered. I really hope that this doesn't make it into 2K21. I know that a lot of people feel that way also. I would say the only people that don't feel that way is the people that abuse it, but if it's in the game, then you should use it. Post Move Lockdown, Rebound Chaser, and Rim Protector are must-have badges if you're a center. Most centers get like 20 defensive badges off rip anyway, so you guys will have enough upgrades to use them. Tireless Defender, I've seen no one, not a single person use this badge. I wouldn't use it. Trapper, don't use this badge. I would never use this badge. I haven't seen any Pro-Am players or anything use this badge either. Wouldn't use it. Worm, this is an amazing badge if you're a center or you're like some type of small forward rebounder or something, but Worm is a very good badge for getting rebounds. All right, guys, that's it for the in-depth badge tutorial. If you've made it this far, comment down below Plug Nation and drop a like on the video, and I'll give one person who does that a $25 PS4 or Xbox gift card. But that's it, guys. So if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's your boy Badge Plug. You have been plugged in, and I'm out. Peace.